Scarlett Johansson, Cate Blanchett, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are among 700 Hollywood industry backers who are linking arms in an anti-AI campaign that says stealing our art is not innovation. At the same time, 16,000 more Amazon jobs are expected to be cut, according to a leaked email that the BBC is reporting on. What do these things have to do with each other? What do these things have in common? All right. Now, first of all, now that you're hooked, I am at Chadsand on Instagram, Chad Sanders, but I'm not going to take advantage of the fact that you're hooked. I'm actually going to give you some value and information here. So, here's the deal. What do those two things have in common? The fact that both super famous and presumably rich Hollywood stars, as well as Amazon executives and workers, I would say among all rungs of the business, as we've been watching layoffs occur at Amazon for a long time, what do those groups of people have in common with all the other groups of people who are being laid off at corporations and in industries across our country, across our world? The answer is that they are being replaced by technology on purpose. They're overlords, they're corporate bosses. And let's be more specific so I don't just sound like somebody who's going on and on without being specific here. In Hollywood, it's Hollywood studios, the Netflixes and the Disneys and the Hulus and the HBO Maxes who are looking for ways to take the existing catalog of creative work by creative people, including Scarlett Johansson's voice, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's image, Cate Blanchett's, dramatic tension on a screen. They're looking ways to take that and to mass reproduce it by using artificial intelligence to capture the parts of it that are important to the human eye so that they can make stuff using these people's names, images, and likenesses without them. That's how this works. That's what's going on across Hollywood and entertainment industries. You just saw my PA Penny walk behind me. Now, at the same time, in your industry, whatever that might be, whether you're a trucker, whether you're an executive at Amazon, whether you work in HR at Google like I used to, somebody in your industry, somebody in your building, somebody at your corporation, somebody at your place of work, even if you are a dispatched work for hire, like somebody who works for Uber or one of the driving services, someone is looking for a way to replace you with a technology that, once they have this technology, makes it cheaper for them to execute your function without you. So they can let go of you because you're an expense to them. You're a cost to them. My background is this. I worked at Google for 4 years out of college. I worked at a tech startup for about 2 or 3 years after that. I jumped ship and came to become a TV writer, right? A screenwriter, an author, a podcaster. And in all of those industries, or in all of those pieces of technology and the entertainment industry, the lesson that I learned starkly was that no matter how glamorous, no matter how ego-filling, no matter how useful I thought my particular role in the whole thing was, ultimately, it is a machine. And it's a machine that is looking for cheaper parts to get the same result, which means if somebody can make a TV show without my particular skill set, but just as good in their eyes, and in their eyes means making as much or more money, then they're going to try to find a way to replace me. That's how this thing works. That is how capitalism is built. And no matter how fancy, no matter how many red carpets these Hollywood stars walk on, and how many photo spreads they do, and how many followers they have on Instagram, no matter how special and unique they think or want you to believe they are, their bosses, the people who write their paychecks at studios and production companies, understand that there is something they can find more compelling than them for a broad audience. That doesn't make that thing better. It just means the consumer is willing to accept it, is willing to buy it, is willing to pay for it just as much as they're willing to go pay for those individual people. Now, I personally like humans, okay? Let me be clear about that. I personally would much rather watch the dramatic tension of two human beings on a screen rather than watching two animated, CGI'd creatures or beings, right? I got no use for Avatar. That's useless to me. I got no use for big, blow them up, fancy production technology, computery robot stuff in the big action movies. Ask a friend of mine. You cannot get me to sit down and watch an action movie. Okay? I can't do it. I have almost like a out of body response to it. It makes me want to jump up and run out of the theater. But A lot of people are into that stuff. A lot of people are willing to watch an animated, a CGI'd replica of a human being instead of the human themselves. The same goes for a corporation, which is happy to replace a human executive with somebody that can do 65% of their function with the remaining 35% not useful to the company. Okay. I'm not going to overtalk that bit. So, I think we all understand and can relate to the fact that people are trying to remove human beings from corporations and replace them with technology. You or somebody you know has been laid off or fired recently because a company was downsizing and trying to introduce new technology or cheaper human beings to make it a more profitable machine, right? But what do we do about that? We still got to pay bills. We still have to live. We still want to occasionally be able to take a vacation to go to a nice restaurant, right? We still need money. So what are we going to do, right? What's Cate Blanchett going to do? What is the Amazon worker going to do? What's the teacher going to do when third period now across all schools is going to be led by some sort of AI instruction, right? What's the author going to do when Simon and Schuster, that's my publisher, HarperCollins, Penguin Random House, when those publishers say, okay, for the next 2 years, we are going to experiment with only publishing AI generated novels. What are we going to do? I'm going to tell you the answer to that. And at first, it's going to sound yucky the way I'm going to say it because I'm trying to make the point, which is that we are going to think like the corporations and studios. Now, here's not how I mean that, okay? I don't mean we're going to be jerks. I don't mean we're going to treat people badly. I don't mean we're going to be constantly looking for ways to replace our human staff with cheaper technology or lesser parts, right? Here's what I mean. The advantage that Disney has in Hollywood is that Disney with its brand, with all of its tentacles in product and merchandise and theater and creative machines, Disney can produce creative work and it can offer it to people in exchange for their money. That is the advantage, is that it has a huge, widespread ability to do that over and over and over again, okay? And as a result, it has a ton of money, it has a ton of assets, it has a ton of debt, also I would bet, and it has a momentum and a snowball of brand recognition that allows it to get better and better deals on everything that it does. You can do that. Here's what I mean. You too can have direct access to people who know you as a brand, who when they see your name pop up on socials, in an email, in a text message, in a conversation with a friend, they get excited and they say, oh, snap. I don't know, I'm making up a name. Terrence has something coming out? Oh, snap. Felicia has something coming out? Suzette has something coming out? I need to go see more of that. I need to go find out what it is, whether it is a service, a product, a movie, a reel, whatever the case may be. You can be the thing, the person, the entity that somebody's eyes light up when they find out you have something new coming out, and they get excited, not even about just the fact that it's coming out, but they get excited about figuring out how they can go and get it, how they can go and pay their money for you to give it to them. And the order of the steps that you are watching me take to make that happen, and I'm excited about it as I'm delivering this, because finally in this last year, I got the medicine and I took the steps to make myself a version of that. The steps to make yourself someone or something that people will be excited when your name flashes across the screen and they will want to pay you for something of value you have to offer them. That's what we're going for. The steps are these. You use the existing marketing channels that exist. I said exist twice. You use the existing marketing channels that are virtually free for you to use them, such as Instagram, TikTok, a little dodgy right now considering some privacy concerns, but LinkedIn, YouTube, etc., places where you know human beings and their eyeballs congregate. You reach them with a message over and over and over again. That message can be different or that message can be the same every single time. But what you are doing is building a relationship between them and you, by engaging with them, by sharing things with them, by offering them something hopefully of value that makes them start to say, ooh, I want more of what that person happens. I subscribe, I like, I share, I comment. Now there's a relationship formed. Now what you do is you ask them while engaging with them, or you watch their behavior to learn, what do these people really need? Now, once you figure out what they need, and that need could be anything. It could be hats, it could be lighters, it could be video essays, it could be vertical series. Hey, I'm big on that one. It could be entertainment, is what I'm saying, right? What do they need? What do they like? You make that for them at a low cost to yourself, and you offer it to them after you have started to process that need. Now, when you are offering it to them, the way that you offer it to them, if they want to get it from you, is you collect two things, right? Not just your money, not just their money, but also their contact information, their email and their phone number. All right. If they want what you have to offer enough, they will be excited to give you their email and phone number because they want more of what you have to offer. Okay. Once you have that email and phone number, now you are starting to be like Disney. Now you are starting to be like the place that has just fired you. And again, you're going to make more humane choices than those places over time. But the way that I mean you are like them is that now you have direct access to a consumer, and you have marketing channels set up where you can get their attention over and over again and remind them, hey, I have more stuff to offer you. And you do that over and over. You repeat the cycle. You offer them. You do deals with them, right? Meaning trade what your offering is for their money. You use that money to reinvest in reaching more people, in making more offerings, in talking to your audience more frequently and in more ways. And it begins to build a snowball. One, again, that if you have been following me at Chadsand, you have watched it building for me. Okay. I was a nameless, faceless writer about 3 years ago, and you start to watch it grow and grow, and the ecosystem builds, and people get more excited to tell you what they want and need. And suddenly, and this is what's starting to happen to me now, those same corporations, for me, the ones that, in my opinion, didn't treat me very good, right? Google, as an example. Suddenly, now they want to do deals with you again, but as your own entity, right? They're not trying to hire you. What they're saying is, we, like those other people who you are offering your services, your talent, your entertainment to, now we want to pay you for that stuff, but not as an employee, as a contracted partner. Hey, Chad, this happened with me at Google. Hey, Chad, can you come in and talk to our staff about what's in your book? Hey, Chad, we'll pay you $15,000 to come talk to people for an hour virtually about the content of your book. Even though $15,000 when you worked at Google was like, I don't know, 1/6 of your yearly salary. All right. So what I'm saying to you is that our urgent mission right now, whether you have a job, whether you are been fired, whether you are an independent creative who's having a hard time finding work in the industry, which is, by the way, everybody, your job is to fix your gaze, right? Stop focusing all your energy on how can I find the next person to hire me as an employee, and instead start to notice, how can I find the people out there who are my audience, who are my consumer directly, who I can do smaller deals with, but more frequently in a way that is going to make up that salary for me. And I am going to build a relationship with them that allows me to keep the cycle going for years and years and years. Yes, I'm excited that last year, for the first time, I made a living by transacting directly with my own audience. But what's more exciting for me is that that could be year 1 out of 30 years that I have that sort of relationship with my audience. That's what I want for you. All right, that's it. I'm at Chadsand on Instagram. Go subscribe to this channel right now. Go follow me on Instagram. I also want you to come to How to Launch Your Vertical Series in 2026, which is my webinar this Friday, at the link in this caption. You can also find it in the link in my bio on Instagram at Chadsand. Goodbye.